Is there an imbalance between investing in new shiny prop tech versus investing in staff? In a state agency?
Yes, there is. Um, Everybody's looking at the new product that's around the corner that's going to save them time, make them money, or increase their efficiency. Those are sort of the three principles, really. And actually, there's probably a fourth, which is create opportunity and create opportunity. Um, the problem with that is that if the phone rings, what happens then? So how good are the staff that pick up the phone?
A real person ringing in.
Exactly. So I had a really interesting experience, which I won't bore you with a non-sector related company this week, where I didn't want to go online and shop. I actually wanted to talk to a person. The service I got that was so poor, I then went online. And actually, that's a material risk for our sector. So if we don't actually stop the inane investment in products that we don't really need and start to train our staff appropriately, we're going to erode our market share even more.
So is that the MD's fault to work out what good prop tech looks like, or is that the MD's fault for not investing in staff, or a bit of both?
Fault is a
Okay,
divisive word, isn't it?
Cause.
Yeah.
Or should prop tech be actually, and then that's a subject for another video.
Yeah.
Are prop tech producing solutions to problems we don't have, and they're creating shiny object syndrome? I don't know.
There is an element of that, and
Okay.
there is an element of that, but that's not really the point that I want to get across in this.
Go on then, because we can talk about that in another video.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the balance between prop tech or systemization,
Yes.
you could say,
Yeah.
and staff.
Okay. So you need process in your business to add efficiency to create time. Okay. That for me is what IT delivers. So you've got interaction and transaction. I talk about this quite a lot. Any prop tech that can draw efficiency into the interaction and process is good. The transactional based stuff is the human relationship. Yeah. So estate agencies, 99% people and 1% houses. And you could maybe say it's 98%, 1% technology and 1% houses. You could maybe say that because it's still the interaction that is the important thing. So agents have to be skilled at the communication and delivery and help and advice and expertise and all those sorts of things that they talk to their customers about. So I ran a training course across the entire country about 6 months ago, and the first part of the training course was actually a quiz. And I was surprised by the lack of general knowledge in the sector. I was surprised.
What, general knowledge on a state agency or just general knowledge Trivial Pursuit?
General knowledge of a state agency.
Okay.
And information that is related to a state agency. So.
And that's a lack of training?
Lack of training. Yeah, it's a lack of training, and so I believe training is there's two areas of responsibility. There's the company area of responsibility, and then there's the self. So the individuals that have a need or should have a need and a desire to be better and actually improve their knowledge because they actually want to do so. So it is partly to do with the company, and it is partly to do with the individual.
Okay, so what one thing would you say to estate agency bosses and one thing to a neg and valuer when it comes to training?
Do it. That would be the first thing to do it. But
okay,
run course. Go on. Sorry.
No. So if I was a neg, where am I going to get this information from? I mean, obviously, if your boss is a guild member, you're going to get training for free. So again, if there's not a guild member, they want to be giving you guys a call. How do they find out though? Just for us quickly, how do they find out if the town is available or not?
So you can go to our website and there's a find a member button.
Yeah.
And click on it and put it in your town, and if it doesn't come up with a guild member, then it's available.
Right, so let's bring it back.
Yeah.
What would you advise negs on, what would you advise negs who want to train themselves more? Because it's not just, it doesn't have to be estate agency training, it's just sales training. What? Be as simple as going to YouTube and...
So that would be a place to start. Read, listen, self-analyse. So think about your performance. I mean, it's very easy. It's very easy to say these sorts of things, isn't it? But very difficult to actually do as an individual that doesn't know. And of course, we're the mean of our experience of 30 odd years.
Yes.
So it's a challenging one to where would I go to start? I would start by going onto YouTube and looking at some of the great stuff that you've created and some of the great commentators. Go and read some books about the art of want making and selling.
Yeah.
Go and do that sort of thing. Think about go and find out about want making.
So type in want making to Google and see what comes up.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, yeah.
Go and find out about the legislation. Go and find out about the structure of homes. I mean, there's so many things you could ask negotiators in some poor independent agents and say, is this a cavity wall property? And they have no idea what a cavity wall is. Well, the general public need to use agents that know that type of thing.
Okay. And probably also learn about your town.
Of course, yeah.
School catchment areas.
It's really interesting. On the first day of employment in Winchester, of every single person that worked in my team, they went on a tour with a red coat because I wanted them to know the history of the town. And it just set the scene of the interaction. We would know from a training perspective how much the annual season ticket cost from Winchester to London. We'd know how much the parking was, what the peak flows of train timetables were. We would know catchment areas for schools. We would know local authorities. We'd know key employers. We'd know all of those things as a base standard in our business. And one of the things that you just made me think of something that we had a very simplistic customer care policy, actually, which was phone them before they phone us.
Yep.
Right? That was it. Because I knew that the people that worked with me were skilled enough to have a good conversation. But some of the things that we used to say, we would say, right, let's talk about today when we talk to our customers about pricing, because we know pricing's sensitive. Let's talk about the consequence of the trade war between America and China and how that's influencing the UK economy.
That's pretty big stuff, mate.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you get skilled individuals. We would talk about Brexit. Now, Brexit's not important in some parts of the UK. So it's regional differences. I've got great members in the northeast that say Brexit's had no impact on them whatsoever, and there's people in the southeast that it's a disaster. But we would talk about Brexit and how that's impacting house prices and what the flow is, because the belief that we had in my business, and I've trained this out to guild members, is that knowledge builds trust. So you increase your market share through knowledge because you become the expert in your town.
And if you're a neg, it's your responsibility, not wait for the boss to send you on a course and go all this.
You can assume that responsibility. It's joint responsibility, but you shouldn't be waiting in vain.
And what would you finally say to any bosses out there? Get them on training courses?
Well, so the bosses that are not a member of the guild, then pick up the phone to me, because I'll have a free conversation with you about this, because I'm really passionate about improving the standards within agency.
Tell the people your telephone number, and if you're happy to do that.
It's 07747 774 664.
And that's a genuine offer.
Absolutely, yeah. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone to me, because it's really important. Legislation is coming. Legislation is coming into the sector, and those that are prepared will find it an easy transition.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.